On with the boss. Boss is severed. Oh, I can hit him in his little taint. His little gooch. Well, not all the time.
That'll be a great intro to the video. Alright, let's cut to the chase. Week 5, it's Glassway. That is the Nightfall for the week. For the Master Nightfall and getting your 200k done, this strike, I think, has the best points potential to get you a free 200k without even putting a ton of effort into this. In terms of points potential, I'm not saying it's going to be the easiest strike in the world, but in terms of points, as long as you get the Nightfall done, I think you will comfortably cross the finish line for 200k. How comfortable? Well, the run you're going to be watching, we got 230k by the end of the strike, and trust me when I say this strike for us was so omega scuffed, it isn't even close. So I think as long as you just simply get it done, and, you know, don't finish at over 30 minutes to bleed your score, you will be fine. But, again, people are going to ask what I used, what I should use, recommendations, etc. So I'm quickly going to go over that. In terms of supers, you can use literally whatever you want. I really do think you can use whatever you want. Of course, at the top, we're always going to have our Wells, Strand, Tether with Orpheus rigs, maybe Banner Shield Ursas, etc. just to make extra orbs. But again, you can use whatever you want for that. In terms of mods, I'm just going to take you to the character screen real quick. By the way, I'll have my build for my Warlock in the description below, the dim link, in case anybody wants to just look at that and use that. But here we go real quickly. If you're a Warlock or any grenade build, Ashes to Assets is a must-have. Free supers out the wazoo. Additionally, wear siphons, whatever your weapons are to match. Have the siphons on, Solar Void, etc. Then an extra cheeky mod could be Power Preservation. Your super final blows create extra orbs for your allies. This also works on well for whatever reason. I don't know. That's what I'd wear on helmet. Next, gloves, real quick. So depending on what kind of character you're using, you want to have heavy-handed if you're a melee build to make orbs. You want to have firepower if you're a grenade build, like, you know, Starfire Warlocks, for example. And then there's things like momentum transfer or impact induction that helps you recoup your melee or your grenade or your class ability and such to help out with that. That's it for those two slots. Chest, just resist. Boots, whatever your surge is for your weapons. And then for class item, it again depends on your class. For example, if I'm running a melee build, Outreach. If I'm running a grenade build, Bomber. And if you're running a Hunter, or even a Titan for that matter, you can run things like Time Dilation and Reaper. Reaper, particularly really good, especially if you're using like a Commemoration build, where you're just using a machine gun. So you use your class ability, like your dodge, and then you spam your machine gun, get Oars of Power, get Volatile, go Brr, very free. And that's it. Like I said, very bare bones. You won't need to go into any crazy builds to get this done. You'll see by yourself, of course, as you watch the video. In case you're wondering, I will go over a couple of tips for the boss room itself towards the end of the video when we're actually there, because some people tend to struggle on that. But aside from that, enjoy the video and the run. Hopefully you get your 200k nice and easy from this. And I'll catch you guys in the next 200k, which is Lake of Shadows, I think? Yeah, should be. Alright, like, share, subscribe. Let's help the channel. Much appreciated. Catch you in the next one. Goodbye.
Any amount is enough. You've been far more than most.
And it's only just begun, little light.
Snake, do you have your well back? I can well first here if you don't.
Yeah, I have it.
Okay. If you want to go ahead first, and then I can use mine next.
Alright. Almost 80k. Still at the plate room. So I'm not going to bore you guys with a list of 20 overload and anti-bear weapons to use in this room. Use what you like, what you're comfortable with, as long as you have the tools to stun these champions. That's totally fine. For example, you'll be seeing me use Radiant to stun these champions. Also, quick tip, well, also gives you Radiance, because, you know, that super definitely needs an extra mechanic to make it even more busted. And, yeah, you can use weapons, you can use abilities, whatever floats your boat, right? So the main thing in the boss room here, and I feel like this is the main part what people struggle with, besides the Vex randomly teleporting on top of you. I'm looking at you, you giant fucking chickens. The positioning is what matters in this strike. So, as some of you already know, it goes pretty much overload, overload, barrier, barrier, overload, overload, barrier, barrier, in terms of champs. 16 total. The idea here is you divide the room into two parts. You have the left section, which is like where 95% of the population chills in, which is fine. The other 5%, I think, should be dedicated to the center of the room, and I'll explain why. You start the fight, you go far, far left. If you're fast enough, you can spawn kill the first overload champion of the fight before the boss ever gets to you, and just eliminate that one extra champion on the field at the same time. So then you only have one champion on board. Here you have two choices. You can either wait to kill that overload champ to play it safe, or you can start nuking the baby Hydra and get him out of there so that the other two overloads spawn, and you kind of just like converge all three of the remaining overloads and kill all of them in a very fast pace. Now, you could go the safe route because, well, it's safe, but if you're running low on time and you don't want to hit that 30-minute mark plus, then go with the fast route, if you're, of course, you know, experienced for it. And then, after that, you will have to damage the boss. Once you damage the boss, and he starts to leave, that will start the next phase, which will be anti-barrier and wyverns. So for this portion, I feel like once all the overloads are dead, you should head to the middle of the room while the boss is looking on the left side, which is easily doable by just kiting him. From the middle of the room, you have a great angle to actually shoot the boss instead of just peeking once every 30 seconds out of a corner on the left side and just hoping the boss takes some damage. From the center, you can kind of use the staircase as your protection a little bit, plus you have well probably, and then just nuke the boss down to his next threshold, get him out of there nice and quick. From here, if you have something like a tether, a banner shield, any form of huge ad control, you can just stay in the middle, have the wyverns converge on you, nuke them real quick so they have no chance of teleporting on top of you inside of a cave, and then be done with them, period. From there, you can choose to either stay in the middle and kill the barrier champions there, or just go back on the left side and feel comfortable in there, because the barriers hopefully won't teleport on top of you. And the rest of the phase, once the wyverns are gone, is pretty chill. Now, for the second portion of the boss fight, I do want to mention that this strategy will not work, or at least not as well, because for the second half, the boss will be back with the wyverns. So for the second half, I just kind of recommend going back on the left side. But dialing back a little bit here, so you'll have 2 barrier champions to kill, and then another 2 to kill for 4 total. Then you get the boss down to the half-point threshold, and this is where the difference comes in. So you'll have 2 overloads to kill, and then the boss, instead of leaving like he does during the normal phase, will actually just go immune temporarily and stay on the field while the next 2 overloads show up. So essentially all you have to do is just stay inside like you did for the overloads, but just avoid the boss because he's not damageable, and you can't force him to leave to kind of make yourself breathe a little bit on the outside. So stay on the left side, kill your overloads like normally that you would, and then from here on, once they're dead, then you can start damaging the boss again. And if you'd like, you can do the whole kiting process of go left, make him go left, then run to the middle, he'll follow you, and then you shoot him. After that, that's when the next wyvern/barrier portion begins, and this is where the mini and the boss will be back on the field with the stuff. So once you've made the boss leave and he's getting ready to return again, this is where I would recommend going back to the left instead of staying on the middle like you did for the first portion of the boss fight. Now, at this point, there's not much else to add other than what you've already done. Just watch out for wyverns, kite them to the right spots, try to super them if you have to. The last thing I do want to mention is, 1, nuke the mini hydra as fast as humanly possible. If he's floating into your doorway, just pop a well, pop whatever, and just nuke him with whatever you got. Get him out of the way. Then you can worry about the wyverns. At this point, what you could do, and this is completely up to the fire team whether they want to do this or not, you could either go for the kills on the barriers and actually kill them before killing the boss, or you can actually just hit each barrier with damage and then shoot the boss and kill the boss, which will then kill all of the barriers afterwards and still giving you platinum for the strike. That's if you care about platinum at all in this case, because you're just going for points, right? So I wanted to mention that. Either kill the berries then the boss, or hit the berries and then kill the boss, and you'll still get plat either way. Alright, I'm just going to let the footage play out if there's any left at all. You already heard my sell-out speech, so I'm not going to repeat it. I'm just leaving now. Okay, bye.
Have fun with the boss. Boss is severed. Oh, I can hit him in his little taint. His little gooch. Well, not all the time.
That'll be a great intro to the video.
Barely even using this GL over here. 25% bonus damage. Oh, we got champs in the middle. Repeat, champs in the middle.
Yeah, I'm working on this closer one.
Trying to keep them both actually stunned here. Going up, back up there for just.
Oh, I see a green brick. I need the green brick.
Oh, you're rolling away. Rip. Yeah, I don't know. We're not gonna get 200k now.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize we tipped already. Oh, I have weapon mail. Lol. Don't even care. Any chance you can get this?
Oh,
Nice.
I pressed the wrong button.
Oh, I'm out.
The
I'm out.
chicken, yep.
Chicken. Yep, suspended. Severed.
Ball's out now, careful. We have a champ on the right.
Okay.
Stun that.
Both severed.
Boss is right here too, careful.
Other berry suspended. You want to try and get him? Very close.
Working on him.
That works.
I'm 1v1 in the boss, don't mind me.
Copy. Suspending, suspending. Got him.
He's definitely suspended. He's off the ground.
230. Yeah, no farming needed there. Oh, if this cloak is an 1810. Yes.
Bastards. Until next time.
It's funny because the GM requirement is also 230.
Another helmet, that is fine.
That was a scuff run too. Still got
That was
230.
very scuffed. Pulse, rangefinder, buzzard, arrowhead.
The orb distribution.
Let's see. Oh yeah.
Jesus.